What is going on, OKC fans? We are going to the finals. That's right. You guys heard it right. OKC is your 2025 Western Conference champions. We are going to the finals, guys. Holy crap, dude. This is crazy. This is insane, guys. Let's let's just get into it here. I got the gold hat and everything from 2014. It's not the same.
Fucking awesome. It's fucking awesome. I don't know, man. I'm at a loss for words of how easy they did it.
That's what this team does, bro. This team just kills.
Fourth 30 plus point victory this postseason, first all time.
Yep.
Man, it's been a really long time. Really long time. 2012.
Dude.
We just got the coldest motherfucker on the planet, and you're just the best team on the planet. So,
yeah,
I guess I'd like to say I didn't expect anything else. I guess.
Yeah, dude, I just can't. I mean, it's insane how this team is just so capable of just ripping teams apart at times. I mean, that defense this entire game was just ridiculous, dude. Some of the greatest defense I've ever seen as an NBA fan. Like, just suffocating, nonstop, physical, in your face. Alex Caruso, dude. Oh my gosh, bro. What a player. We were talking about it the other day with that phrase, winning basketball, Joe. I think Caruso is going to be considered a winning basketball player for a long time.
I think he's the perfect key to a team, especially a team like ours with a bunch of young guys and you know to lead defensively. Like we already have defensive guys, but to add him, and Hartenstein into the mix, it's just a clear jump. This team sweeps last year's OKC team, no doubt. And man, it's crazy, bro. We won by 30, and I swear to God, we did not have like our best night offensively. Like we shot the ball well, 52 from the field, 40 from three, but it was all defense. It was all fast break points. It was all creating turnovers.
Mm-hmm.
And it was all of Shea's 4 free throw attempts tonight.
I got a cool stat for us. This 30-point margin in Game 5 marked the Thunder as only the third team in NBA history to record multiple 30-point series-clinching wins in a single postseason, joining the 2008 Celtics and the 1987 Lakers, which is amazing.
Dog, that is just ridiculous. You want to talk about just an all-around, like, insane team? Like, obviously, as Thunder fans, we're going to talk about how good this team is, but just do some stat searching for a little bit. This team has just shattered records, shattered expectations, made history night after night after night. I believe we have also now had the most 20-point plus wins in a playoffs in history. Like, I mean, we're just dominating teams, man. I mean, insane. It's just we've talked about like how this team could be so unstoppable if they just play like even a fraction of what they're capable of. And tonight was an example of that. Like Joe said, we could have had a better offensive night, and that's like horrifying for other teams to think about. I mean, going into this finals, like we've
keep going, kid. Keep going.
Insane. We've talked about like going into this finals, like everyone's saying like OKC is just getting better. Like we're literally getting better as time goes on. Like that's so scary to think about as an opposing team. This team just continues to beat expectations, and
guys, we just lost only 4 games.
Yeah,
out west.
That's crazy. In the stacked West that everybody's talking about how good this is, like the best West we've seen in decades, and we lose only 4 games.
Marcus Morris said, I'm still not buying OKC to come out of the West. Shannon Sharp said Lakers in 5. We had
John Morant said he had us figured out.
Exactly. And that was after he got swept.
Mm-hmm.
Dude,
there was a bunch of analysts that said no one fears us. They said they were hearing rumblings all across the league that no one fears us.
They're getting 30 balled because they're a bunch of morons. 30 balled.
How many times on this podcast throughout this season did we say, just wait till the playoffs come? We kept saying, just wait until the playoffs come. We have receipts. Go back and listen to episodes. We talked about everyone's saying this team is just a regular season team. Wait till the playoffs come. OKC is going to the finals right now, losing only 4 games in the entire span. They're breaking records. They're making history. Shea's getting better. Chet's getting better. J-Dub's getting better. This team, we've been telling everybody who listens to this podcast how good this team is. It's insane to me how long ago we all talked about this. Like, we've been literally manifesting.
We've been saying this for months.
Yes, dude.
Up and down.
Go ahead.
Sorry. I was just gonna say the up and down since we started this podcast with the team, with coming out of All-Star break short.
Yeah,
it's just funny because unbiasedly we were able to all predict, relatively easy walk for OKC. Xavier was scared of Denver. Not scared, but he respected the hell out of Denver, and I kind of was like, shut up, because I don't think Denver's that good, especially after they fired their coach. But, I mean, that was the only team in the West that had a chance, and we should have won in 6, but we won the series, whatever. This is the most dominant team I've ever been a fan of in all sports across the board, and I expect the same in the finals. I really do. If not even better.
I mean, it's like every single player that they interviewed in that Western Conference trophy ceremony, first thing they said was, we're not done yet. Like that. I love that all their minds are set on that. I mean, it was Chet. They were like, Chet, how satisfying is this? And the first thing he says is satisfying. It's not satisfying, which he gets it, dude. The whole team gets it. Like, this was
where that comes from. That comes from the MVP. That's the best leader in the world, the most valuable player, the best player in the world.
And it's backed up like Caruso and guys who've been here and understand what that's about. Like, Caruso is, dude, I'm serious. Like, that has got to be one of the best additions to a team in a long time. That just instantly you could tell the difference he made on this team. Like, there's no point where he's on the court and you're like talking about the negative impact he has. Like, the leadership and everything, but everybody knows we're not done yet. Like, every player on the team understands it. So it's going to be a good finals if it's either way as us. I mean, I think it's going to be fun to watch, but everyone's been saying that we've just been getting better, and it's time to see if that really, like, I believe the phrase that I've heard thrown around is it was like there was blood in the water tonight. And I want to see that same type of intensity in the finals, man.
Let me tell you something. They missed like their first few shots. Oklahoma City did.
Mm-hmm.
But in Game 7 of the Denver series and now this closeout game at home, Game 5, routes, like absolute no question about it, game over after one quarter. We held the team to 9 points in a closeout game in the first quarter. 9 points, man.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Can we just and you're right, they're only getting better. Every freaking series, every game they get better.
That's just ridiculous.
Guys, we didn't mention the stats and scoreline of this. 124-94 victory. Shea had 34, 8 assists, 7 rebounds. And
How many free throws?
Only a few. Only a handful. But he also won the Western Conference Finals MVP unanimously. Chet had 22, 7 rebounds, 3 blocks. J-Dub had 19 and 8. And we had a 17-point lead, I think, in the first quarter. We extended it to 33, and then it got out of hand after that.
Yeah. There was once again, we saw that same like response to big baskets that we saw in the last game, because there was a few times in that third quarter where Randall started getting going. He was hitting some tough threes, and it was like, obviously you're up by a lot, so you're not like worried, but that's the kind of stuff that slowly chips away. But we would still, every single time, we'd have a response, and like any slight flame was just snuffed out immediately. I mean, from the first quarter to the minute that all the starters went out, and even when the bench came in, the intensity was the same. Like, we never at one point laid off the gas, and that's insane for a team that's only getting better. Like, it's like Joe said, this is one of the most dominant teams, not just that I've been a fan of, but that I've seen in a long time. I mean, Richard Jefferson is becoming an OKC fan, I believe.
Dude, he shut her up tonight. He shut her ass up all night. Every time she said something,
yes. Yes, dude. And he's been talking about how this is like the best defense he's seen in the last several days. Like, he said this is one of the best defenses in modern basketball. And that's exactly what it is. This defense is incredible. We don't have one player that can't guard. Like, none. Our worst defender is a good defender on any other team. Like, it's insane how good this team is on defense. And tonight, that's all it showed. I mean, like Joe said, the offense could have been better, but the defense single-handedly put them down in that first quarter. I can't remember the exact minute mark, but we forced 7 turnovers in like 4 minutes.
They had 15 made field goals and 15 turnovers at the same exact time.
Whoa, that's insane, dude. That's ridiculous. That is insane.
Unbelievable.
And it's not a matter of everyone hates us right now. Like, it's ridiculous. So you're seeing all these people talking about how like we're just getting away with stuff and whatnot. But it's like, watch a game of that. Like, just watch and look at the defense. Are there missed calls? Sure. There's missed calls for both sides in every single game. Like, there are no perfect refs. There's going to be missed calls. But you cannot just discredit everything that this team has done by saying that we get away with calls. Like, that's ridiculous, dude.
Minnesota made 3 shots. Minnesota made 3 shots in the first quarter.
And look how many open shots. Like, I'll give Ant credit. He was drawing doubles and kicking to the open guy like every single time. They were just missing corner 3 after corner 3. And I'll give you credit here, Satvir. You were talking about a couple episodes ago how much you like Mark's whole game plan. And this is why. This is an example of why it works. Is the role players couldn't get shit from the corner. They could not buy a bucket at all.
Well, here's the thing.
But
here's the thing with that. We all mentioned it last game. This team is the most ridiculous. It has the most ridiculous jump from playing at home to on the road. On the road, I think their closest loss was game 2, maybe, with it was 20 points or something. And you see how their role players, I'm talking about Minnesota, how their role players just elevated at home, and then they come back to OKC and they just suck again. That's just, they suck. Also, another thing, we clinched the NBA Finals, our second NBA Finals, on the 9-year anniversary of the franchise's all-time most heartbreaking defeat, Game 6, 2016, at home against Golden State. I watched that game this morning. And just how sweet it is to have it be the same day is just, it's just taking words out. I can't speak. I
can speak. The one thing I want to say is Shai winning this Western Conference Finals MVP. I honestly did not. We knew he was going to make a jump from each series, and that's what I predicted. But the jump he made in this one is 31.4 points on 46 from the field, 5.2 rebounds, and 8.2 assists. I did not think the assist jump would join his points per game, and the fact that he's done that is absolutely ridiculous. The people saying that there's better pure point guards out there, like a Luka Doncic, a Tyrese Halliburton, Shai's passing gap versus their scoring gap to him, his outweighs everything that they could mention to me. So Shai's undoubtedly the best guard in the NBA right now. He's the best two-way guard. We've been saying that for a long time. But he's undoubtedly the best guard in the NBA. There's no other guard that I could say is doing that in a Western Conference Finals appearance. Like, there's no one close to that.
Against a top-tier defensive team, made it look super easy. Even when it wasn't easy, it just looked so easy. He's the best guard in the world. He's either the first or the second best player in the world. And he is cold as hell, man. Let me tell you something. The whole mindset of the team comes from Shai. For him to stick with us throughout the whole rebuild, man, he could have said hell no. Especially when he started to leap into 30 points per game every year, almost 28 points per game. He could have said, I don't need this. But he is a godsend for Oklahoma City, a godsend for Oklahoma City basketball fans.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I fell in love with the guy tonight. I'm not going to lie.
Shai is definitely the best player in the world right now because he just went head-to-head against the other potential MVP candidate and beat him in the regular season in terms of wins when carrying a team that had the most injuries of a 68-win team in history. We had 90-plus injuries. Shai was the constant throughout the season. He was the constant throughout these playoffs. and he won head to head. So I have him over Jokic until he takes that title back. There's no doubt in my mind.
Can we just pause this real quick? I got a beef with this guy real quick. I don't want to beef tonight, but this guy has been in our show 3 straight games.
He's just a troll.
I thought he was a Timberwolves fan at first. But then he says this. What can you just thanks for joining the show. I appreciate all the comments. You got to explain what team you root for, or are you just a Thunder hater?
He's just a hater.
Thunder hater? We've made it.
It gives us content. I mean,
we've made it. We've made it.
He's just
we have a full-time. Yeah, we have full-time haters.
Yeah, one of those media guys who. Well, that's the thing. That's how you know you're a good team, is when you're starting to get people to hate you. Like that's what it is. We're really good and people hate it. Like that's just how.
I just want him to come out and I'm curious. I really I'm grateful that he's watching, but are you a Laker fan, a Timberwolves fan, a Nuggets fan? Where do you sit? You're not a Pacers fan, I'll tell you that much.
Well, if you're so eager to talk and comment, tell us who you're a fan of.
Yeah, there you go.
Just you're very eager to. You're literally calling out Joe specifically, so please.
But anyway,
here, but whenever you get the chance, go ahead and let us know.
I'm gonna be when they started talking, a grown man, 24 years old, I deadass started tearing up, but I was kind of upset in a way because the way we just dominated through this series, I wasn't able to get on the ground and start bawling my eyes out. I was kind of just like, all right, we made it. After the finals, I'll be crying for a long time, but
no, it was. I get what you're saying. When Shea was given, actually, what got me was, funny enough, Mark was getting emotional a little bit there, man. Oh, there you go. Now he told you. So you called your own team bad. Interesting. Okay, with murder.
I truly am in love with Shea. You got that right. And
are you not in love?
Appreciate you joining the Thunder Pod tonight, but listen, man, I'm rooting for the Knicks tomorrow. I want to see that series extend. But to be fully honest with you, I think we match up way better with Indiana. Like I really do. The Knicks have good wings, longer wings, which we tend to struggle with, but that doesn't seem to be a problem anymore, to be honest, with J-Dub's evolution and Chet's and Shea's. But would I be mad that Indiana closes out tomorrow? No, but I'm looking for at least 1 or 2 more games, I should say, from that
series.
I
have bad news for us. There's a knee contusion for Karl Anthony Towns, so he's kind of a questionable decision right now. I still think the Knicks can still win the game. With how the series has gone, it's been way closer than people are making it out to be. The Knicks have played them pretty close. They just Jalen Brunson, like I predicted that he would be clutch in that series, he just hasn't been. He's been, Tyrese has been more clutch than him, so that's just how it went, man.
I also like the Pacers series because no one wants it. Everyone doesn't. Everyone thinks that's like OKC and Pacers are too small market and whatnot. So keeping the Knicks, New York out of it, I'm all good for that, dude. Like I'd gladly play Indiana. I would love to see that. And the number 1 offense versus the number 1 defense. Like what a fun. I don't know. That'd be a fun matchup.
Listen, they've been the 2 best teams since January 1st by a wide margin. Housepot Casino, welcome back, brother. He said, "Let's go." Also, Caruso should have won MVP. Man, I'm as big of a Caruso fan as there is out there, but you know who the MVP was of the series. We got Ty Bando back in. What's going on, bro? This guy, he said, "Nah, Pacers aren't scared of the Thunder."
He's just trolling, man. I would just ignore it.
No, I like going back and forth. I mean, nobody was scared of the Thunder this playoffs, right? Yeah. They all got rolled through. Yeah. So
I mean, you claim the Wolves weren't scared of the Thunder, and here we are. Like, okay, if the Pacers aren't scared of us, then I mean, if they win, good for them. They're a great team, but it's not going to be easy. I'll tell you that much. So they don't have to be scared of us. Plus they have their own series to deal with right now. So
I don't even know where to transition, guys. Like I'm at a loss for fucking words. It's like we knew it the whole year, but we've had so much shit happen to us, especially us 3, because we're the oldest on the pod, and we watched the 2012 finals. We watched KD go down. We watched Russ go down with injury.
Yeah,
got all the way back in 2016 to blow it and then we didn't make it out of the first round for a while. Then we had to rebuild. It's been a really long 13 damn years.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
for it
no.
to just come to fruition is just unfucking believable.
I wasn't gonna say it because I gotta be a little skeptical, so I wasn't gonna say it. From the moment I woke up this morning, I was just sick to my stomach, dude. The PTSD of this
Oh,
three
it was kicking. It was kicking
It's
my ass.
killing me, bro. Like, you do not understand how desperately I needed us to win this game. Like, this game was just so needed, and we could not have answered in a better way in terms of showing that we were actually like ready to take it. I mean, ready to like this team's bigger than what we were saying all year. I mean, the issue was first they're too young, then the issue was not enough experience. We got all the experience we needed from that Nuggets series. I mean, that Nuggets series gave us the experience we needed. If we don't win that series in 7, like if that series gets over faster, I honestly don't think we're as good of a team as we are now. Like if we sweep those guys in 4, we're not as good of a team as we are right now. Like we responded, we've learned to play in the clutch, and now we're here. Like this
for
is
me, it's the loss. Well, actually, we won. No, the loss last year to Dallas in Dallas to close out the series.
Mm-hmm.
The comeback win in Memphis, even though they didn't have Ja, and game 4 in Denver when we were down 2-1 and go back and win that game, and we were down by like 8 points with like 8 minutes left or something like that.
Yeah.
And especially with this group of guys, I mean, I was super confident in game 4 of this series for that exact reason. The way we've been, how many times we've been in that situation.
Mm-hmm.
And J-Dub, God damn it, I love J-Dub, bro. He's becoming all NBA player like yearly. Like,
yeah.
He's unstoppable, bro. Minnesota had no answers for J-Dub. They had no answers for Shea, and they had no answers for Chet.
Shea was getting whatever he wanted. I mean, Shea was having one of those games where he was choosing when to score in between playmaking.
Yep.
That's the best kind of
I feel
game.
like he does that like every night though. That's the thing I see with him. Like he chooses when he wants to score.
I feel like it's more noticeable. Like some nights he's so aggressive at scoring, but tonight it was like you could tell he was looking to pass, and then he would just once every 4 plays he would just blow by his guy and lay it up. Like it was so easy tonight. And don't get me wrong, Saver, it always feels like he gets what he wants. But tonight I just felt like he was really getting people involved. I mean, we saw that stat at halftime. He was responsible for as many points as the Timberwolves had at halftime. Like he was swinging the rock. He was getting people. Yeah, I should have mentioned that earlier. Where's that guy commenting now? Sorry. But yeah, he was responsible for as many points as the Timberwolves had at halftime. Like he was looking to get other people involved all game long. And that's something that he's really taken on as a leader. I mean, he's not just a scorer. He's a great two-way. He's a playmaker. He's great at he's just an incredible player. Like Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is exactly what Joe said. He's a godsend to this team. Like I saw someone say the other day, like, at what point are we going to fully admit that the Clippers trade was the worst trade in NBA history? Because
now
we're there. We've been there. Like Shai is an incredible, once in a generational. I mean, he is an absolutely insane player. And yes, we are fully in love with Shai. If you're not in love with your best player, then you're not a real fan, because Shai Gilgeous-Alexander has brought more to this fan base than we can physically put into words. Like,
and Gabe, this is not a shot at you. Don't take it. Please don't take it the wrong way. But for us to trade a guy like Paul George, who, is a really good player his whole career, but to get Shai from Paul George, and I was really close to calling Shai Paul George earlier in this playoff. Shai's a closer. He starts the game fast. He closes the game. And he just wins. For us to get that out of Paul George, because we know what Paul George has done his whole career. He's gotten there, close to the finals, and has lost or choked, people will say. I don't like the choke word, but to get a player who you could rely on every night, and like you're going to get to where you want because he's on your team, that's something we've never had. We've had 4 MVPs now. A shit ton of Hall of Famers, but we've never had a guy in a Game 7 situation where I'm just like, go to him every time he's going to score and we're going to win the game.
Yeah.
Like KD was the closest probably thing to that, and he would shit the bed in big games, field goal percentage wise. So Nab Shea is just he's the best, bro.
In terms of OKC fans, I'm probably one of the biggest Paul George OKC fans there is. I take zero offense to that because it's easily a trade that we just robbed them on, and that would be if we just did it straight up for Shea. Shea is significantly better than Paul George has ever been in his career, which is kind of crazy to say because Paul George is incredible, but it's true. Shea is better than Paul George has ever been in his career right now. There's no denying that. Like, you can try to argue it, but you can't. Paul George had the two-way ability, so does Shea. Like, he's a closer, he's a scorer, he's a play. Like, he's got everything that we desperately need out of a player. And as one of the biggest Paul George lovers, like, it's a terrible trade straight up. But we got J-Dub as well. We got 4 first-round picks. We got, I mean, it's insane what that trade was capable of for this team. I mean, it all goes back again to like Sam Presti, dude. Like, oh my gosh, bro. Like, he's been here through it all, bro, and never once has he steered us like completely wrong. I mean, he's responsible for such a big part of just the ability to put this team together, man. Like,
he's a big part of why I'm a fan. The reason I joined, I guess, Thunder fandom as a person that's in North Carolina has, created a whole account after this team is because of the culture, and that's led by Sam Presti. I saw it early on with that 2012 team, fell in love with it, and ever since then, it's really carried on. Like, the Thunder culture has evolved and evolved, but the same constant has been there with Sam Presti, and the work he's done, just team building and, culture building, all of those teams were fun. They were in the community, and like, you just felt a lot more connected to them versus most other fan bases. That's the real reason that most people probably are Thunder fans, is because it feels like a homey vibe. And I would say the Thunder are probably one of the teams that have the most fans outside of their own state. Like, the amount of international and out of state fans that the Thunder have is probably more than, the whole league would probably recognize. And that's a lot of the reason, because we had KD and Russell Westbrook, and the fandom has been widespread.
Now, like, on the other hand, OKC has such a great home court advantage because of that reason. It's, everyone's, either from OKC or just like feels the homey vibe from OKC and the environment down there in Bricktown and all that. I mean, OKC is like one of the best places on earth. But Indiana has a very similar vibe.
Yes, they do.
Their field house is packed out with just Pacers fans every game.
Yep.
They root for their team like no other. Like teams like LA and New York, you get a lot of celebrities for the first 3 rows and ex-players, and then you got guys who are maybe fans, but they're just there. These are like 2 cities that are like really connected to their basketball teams. And it's going to be really fun playing in both, in these games if it's Indiana, because both stadiums are going to be absolutely rocking.
Yes. Seriously, like, not just talking about like which team I'd rather play. I genuinely think a Pacers Thunder series would be so much fun. Like, and a bunch of NBA fans aren't going to watch because they're talking about these 2 small market teams. And it's also the wagon right now. The bandwagon right now to jump on is hating OKC. So no one wants to see us win, but Indiana's fun right now. Like, OKC is fun if you actually stop just buying into the media, but OKC versus Indiana is going to be a good series. Like, I really do hope
it's going to be lit. Number 1 offense versus number 1 defense. Do I think it's going 5 max? Yes, but like, it'll be good games.
Well, and I'm a little biased Iowa State fan. Love Tyrese Halliburton to death. So like, I want to see him succeed and get there.
I love Tyrese Halliburton too. I'm such a big fan of his game, bro.
Dude, he's so likable. Like, I love the guy. And so I really hope he gets there. I mean, obviously I hope we beat him in 4, but like, I hope he gets there because he's fun to watch. Like, he's fun to play against. And he's not the kind of player that I'm going to be like mad about losing to if we lose a game. Like, I understand he's just a baller. He's just good. Like, it doesn't feel like losing to someone that's really annoying or anything, or a cheap player. Like, they're just a good team. Like, The best offense, best defense. This is a clash, dude. Like, this should be a great series. But
The other thing I want to mention about the series is sorry I jumped in, but I wanted to mention the coaching battle is going to be huge. We have a championship proven coach versus a guy that this is his first run to the finals with Mark Daigneault. And on top of that, the battle between Tyrese and Shea is going to be huge in this one. We're going to have to see who's more clutch because really I feel like these games are going to be close. And he just outperformed Jalen Brunson. That kind of scares me a little bit because I did not see that coming at all, if I'm honest.
All right, well, before we get more into that series, let's kind of stay here in the present tonight. Even though I do disagree, we'll get to that in our preview a couple of days from now.
I'll save the point for the preview then.
Yeah. We'll get to that in our preview because you just had me roll in close games. But anyway, and going back to this series, just talking about how great it is to be an OKC fan. Ant Edwards is a fantastic young basketball player. They're pushing his narrative a little too soon.
Yeah.
He's J-Dub's age, and they want him to be the face of the league, right?
Yeah.
So, like, I get it. I mean, he is one of the top players in the league, but he averaged 23 points on, like, shit field goal percentage shooting. And that's exactly what we were predicting or wanted to see. That was the way for OKC to win, right? Let him shoot like shit. Let him shoot as much as he wants. Just hold him down. And we said he was inefficient as hell, and he was all series long. They got over there. Like, I know Gabe doesn't like them. I don't necessarily like them either, Minnesota. I don't like the fans. I really don't like the fan base at all. But the team, they got a lot to figure out because if you think that you're going to go win a chip with Julius Randle as your second best player, that's not going to happen. If you think Gobert's really that good on the inside of the paint, I tend to disagree. People take him out of games very easily. They were a 49-win team this year. They might lose Naz Reid. They got a lot to figure out over there.
Yeah, they do. And they got a lot of pieces that are still, like, valuable. I mean, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, you might lose him as well in this offseason, and he was huge for them. I mean,
bring on OKC.
Yeah, for real. But, I mean, they got other guys too. I mean, McDaniels is a great player. He makes some questionable decisions, and he shot horribly tonight.
He's getting there.
He's a good two-way player. He's effective. He's good at what he does. And even DiVincenzo, like, I know we were talking down on him, but he's a shooter. The guy's a shooter. He's streaky, but he's still a shooter. So they have pieces and bits and parts, but they got to figure out where to go from here because a player like Ant, you're only going to keep him interested in Minnesota for so long. Like, I don't see him playing out his career with Minnesota if they don't make a change. Like, he's not going to stay here. He's going to want out if you don't make a change. So I'm curious to see where they go and what their decision is. Like, if they just stay with this team and try to run it back, that would be really bold.
I'm looking at their financial records right now, and with the fact that Anthony Edwards' salary for next season is $45.5 million, and second place they have Gobert at $35 million.
Yeah, Rudy's making a lot.
Julius Randle, if he opts back in, which he probably will, he has a player option. He'll probably opt back in to his $30 million because he's never going to get that anywhere else. Nope. And then Naz Reid is slated to get more, but he's already making 15. So they don't really have much in the way of roster construction. Jaden McDaniels, his $131 million rookie extension, is still active for the next 4 seasons. So there's really
my boy, get him, Steve, get him.
There's really not much in terms of the way of moves. The best thing they could do is maybe drop off Rudy Gobert and try to pick up some picks and just free up some cap space for the next offseason to clear up their books a little bit. But there's not much in the way of moves here. They may even lose Naz Reid. They may even lose, like you mentioned, Nickeil Alexander-Walker. It looks like they're only going to get worse than they are going to get better. I don't know.
They got a lot of decisions to make. Like Randall has the player option, but I'd be Steve is the man. Anyway, I'd be pleasantly surprised if they run it back with Randall. He could opt back in, but they could try to move that contract. Nas kind of fell apart late in the playoffs. He wasn't much of anything for them.
That surprised me, bro. He's a baller. He's a great player.
And
He'll
he's a
still
good
get
player.
like a bigger contract though
Yeah,
elsewhere.
he's very much so worthy of being on a good team.
I think he'll end up somewhere else. He's not great defensively, fantastic offensively, but just not in this series. DiVincenzo, I love DiVincenzo, but I don't know if he fits in what they're trying to build over there. Like you guys mentioned, Nickeil Alexander-Walker. I mean, I'd re-sign him if I was them, like very fast.
For sure, me too.
But they got a mix of a lot of things coming. Like, I don't know who they're going to add. Terrence Shannon Jr. is going to probably, if not be six-man, maybe enters the starting rotation next year. They got Conley still on their team who is done. I'm sorry, Mike. You gave big battles to OKC throughout the years, but he's done.
Can I interrupt real quick and mention they're a second apron team. At bare minimum, they're going to be a first apron team. They can't do sign and trades, so they can't move Randall. So all they can do is accept his contract.
Wow, that's crazy. You know, another thing that, like, I'm sure I have a really good friend, my roommate, who's a big Timberwolves fan, and I've been next to him for this argument the whole time. When are they going to play Rob Dillingham? Like, are they ever going to give him minutes? Because the guy's got potential. I mean, he was good in college. Like, he should be getting minutes, especially with how old Mike Conley is. You need a guard. Like, he's just sitting there waiting. And if he falls apart, whatever. Like, okay, you tried.
I'm fine with the way they handled Rob this year because, one, he's like 18 years old, 19 years old. He played 1 year at Kentucky. He was good, but he's super young and super raw. That there's a lot for them to grow on with him. And to be fully honest with you, I mean, he's smaller. He's undersized right now, even with the weight, because he's a rookie and he's so young. And like I said, he's really raw, so he's got a lot to work on. They maybe have potential, but for one season, I don't think throwing him into the mix this year wins them anything.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying it wins them games, but like with a guy that young, like I don't see why you don't get him at least some minutes to give him some experience. Because if he gets a little bit of experience in some of those blowouts or some games where they're getting blown out, or just against a team that's like not that good, like I think he's worthy to give a guy like that minutes because he's so young. He needs some polishing like that. And I agree he's undersized, Joe, but like a good point guard to teach an undersized point guard is Mike Conley. Mike Conley is not some big burly guy either. He's an undersized guard as well. So like I just think they should be using at least some games to get Rob on the court. And I'm not, like I said, I'm not saying he changes a single game for them. He doesn't win them a game. But like going for the future, like you said, Mike Conley is ready for the retirement home, bro. Like Conley's great. He's too old. So you got to get Rob some minutes, in my opinion. But
I'll tell you exactly what my first thing, if I'm Alex Rodriguez and whoever runs their team over there, I'm firing Chris Finch's bitch ass. Get him out of here. Yeah. He lets that team full of a lot of talent. One, they don't play like a team. Two, he complains and lets them complain. Yes, gives them excuses for throwing 22 turnovers in a game and tries to get fouls. He was complaining tonight down 30. Like, he's got to go. And then whatever. But I could, fuck Minnesota right now anyway.
I got a couple things I wanted to mention. So they can sign a couple of vet minimums. The best thing you kind of alluded at is playing Rob some more, but just in general, playing Jalen Clark, Shannon Jr. They just got to build up their roster from the young guys. They have plenty of young talent on that team. So it's not like they're going anywhere for a couple of years. They're just gonna have to run it back with the roster and hope that they can, retain Nas or Nickeil, one or the other. They'll be in the first apron, and they just got to operate with some vet minimums and just hope their team grows over time. And also, as the time goes on, Rudy Gobert's contract will get less and less, and that's when they'll start getting some flexibility. Right. So that's the only opportunity they have. They just have to let the contract of Rudy Gobert. It's what's kind of holding them up for the next 3 seasons. Is I don't even know if Ant Edwards is going to wait or be that patient with them.
What I was going to say next.
If they continue to fizzle out and they don't make any moves because they can't.
There's a couple teams out there that are real appealing for the kid. Miami would be perfect. New York, see how they go. And other teams will add other players, and other places will get more of a influx of star players. Like if Indiana loses this finals, can Giannis end up in Indiana? Shams was talking about that the other day, and I'm like, that actually sounds like right. Real quick before we continue, we'll probably be on here a little more while because this is the best night ever in a really long time. But to everyone who did, follow all the rules of the giveaway, we thank you so much. And we are also, I'm going to give a little preview. We're going to have another one very soon. We're in contact with a company that's actually based in Oklahoma City. So just keep an eye out for that, and we'll try to get you the next time.
For sure. Yeah, talking about Anthony Edwards as well, we're in an era in the NBA where we've clearly seen, especially with this season, teams are not afraid to go all in and make a big trade. We just watched Luka get traded. We've seen tons of players get traded, and Shams talked about that he thinks this summer is going to be a really big summer for trades. There is a lot of stuff that can happen. I'm not saying Ant's gone this summer because I don't think he is. I can definitely see him running it back another season. But like we were saying earlier, like as Minnesota, like Xavier just pointed out, there's nothing you really can do. So you're just praying that Ant doesn't decide it's time to go. You're praying that he decides to stay with his team. And I just struggle to see if that's going to work. Like, I just don't. And that's not like, honestly, I don't blame Ant for that. Like, he's young. He's really good right now. I don't blame him to like want to go somewhere else because frankly, Minnesota's put themselves into a trap here. They've backed themselves into a corner and they've really screwed themselves. And it all started with the Gobert trade. It worked for them and the defense was good, but like, and then it gets worse with the Cat trade. This was their year. If they
traded Cat and then extended Gobert.
Well, and the reason they traded Cat, the big reason was so that they could have money to try to keep guys like Nas and Na this next coming season, but they're not going to be able to keep those guys because they don't want to be here anymore. So you've come into the ultimate bad scenario for the Wolves where you got rid of Cat, you didn't do what you wanted to do this year with Cat, and now you're still going to probably lose at least one of those rotational guys. And
the guy they're probably going to end up losing is Naz Reid because they don't have his rights. They have the rights to Na because he's a player that's within their organization, and they have his bird rights, so they can offer him the max. And his max extension isn't going to be like egregious or anything like. So
signing,
yeah, it'll be worth signing him. He's a wing player. Nas doesn't play enough defense to get the contract that he's going to be looking for, and plus other teams like Detroit, the Nets, like the bum teams are going to offer him crazy contracts. So
yeah, they are.
There's no way I see him coming back.
It's concerning, and honestly, like we talk all this trash here about Minnesota because we just beat them and whatnot, but like. Honestly, I almost feel bad for him at this point because of the corner they're backed into. Like, I feel bad that they got to deal with an owner who's put them into a situation like that. That's a terrible situation. And especially if you're a Wolves fan, I mean, watching them ship away Cat, I mean, what a heartbreaking trade. And Randall was great. Like, Randall was good for them. But honestly, I don't see any world where you don't keep Cat and run this season back with Ant getting better and Cat getting better. And instead, you trade him away. And
the reason for that was because of the new ownership group trying to save money and cut costs.
Yeah,
the previous owner was actually trying to spend and keep the team. They kind of fought to the bitter end until he got kicked out of that deal. But essentially, that's what happened. Alex Rodriguez is trying to save, nickels and dimes when he has Anthony Edwards. And I think it's going to be the same case with Edwards as it was with their, with Kevin Garnett when they had him. They didn't build enough of a roster around him, and eventually he got tired of losing. And honestly, Anthony Edwards is going to leave way before, they can even give him the opportunity. So his contract's coming up in 2027. That's kind of around the time that Mike Conley and Rudy Gobert's contracts are up. And so that year, that 2027 year is going to be huge for their cap sheet getting freshened up. And that's when they can add a bunch of people. But to sit through the next 3 years of a stagnant roster, I just don't know if he's going to be able to do that. And by the time they can make moves, he's going to be probably a pretty disgruntled star going into his prime, like 26 years old.
Yeah.
I just don't see a way at that age where he's like, I want to stay in Minnesota because they haven't already proven to make a sensible move yet. They haven't paired me up with a secondary star. I'd rather go to the Celtics and maybe join up with Tatum or join Giannis somewhere, or whatever up and coming star there is around, a big market. Like I could definitely see him going at the age of 26 when that contract's coming up.
Talking about Ant.
Yeah, because they can't make any moves for the next 3 years, and by that time he's going to be pretty upset, like most other stars would be. I was comparing his situation to Kevin Garnett.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. I was thinking about that earlier in the pod. I mean, I'm going to shout out Capers. He posted he's got to get out of the West because he ain't winning shit unless he pulls up to OKC, and we know that can't happen. So, but back to our squad. Back to our squad. Bro, this is the best team like I've ever watched. This is the best team I've ever seen Oklahoma City-wise. Like,
one of the things that's crazy to me is just how many alternate lineups we can win with on a given night.
It doesn't matter who's in. It doesn't matter who's in.
Isaiah Joe comes in garbage minutes and cashes 3 consecutive threes. Like, we can just play him one game if we feel like it. And he's not like, it's not like he promised 3 for 3 from 3, but the guy's a shooter. Like, and
we may have to put him in the rotation against if it's Indiana. If we want to keep up with scoring. Like,
well, and like Dort still hasn't had an incredible offensive series. He had a good game tonight. He hit his threes, but like, we know Dort is a consistent shooter. So if that comes back, there's another offensive threat we have. Wiggins at any minute can one game drop you 15. I mean, Jay Will can come in and make differences. Like, we have such a triple-double. Yeah, exactly. You could have so many different rosters that are winnable. And honestly, my prediction for this series, if it's the Pacers, once again, I know they've been on this really like crazy high with this kind of like, I don't want to quite call it a Cinderella story because they've been good. It's not like there's some bum that's popping off, but they've been better than expected. But my guess is when they run into a defense like ours, that Cinderella momentum is going to start slipping. I mean, at some point, guys like Nesmith, he ain't going to keep hitting those because he's not going to get the space to hit them. He's he's been a great player. He's been given open threes, and I just don't think we're going to. Halliburton isn't the kind of guy where we need to guard him like we guarded Ant. We can't just leave him open, but we don't need to be consistently doubling and leaving guys open in the corner. So if we can just have one guy on Hallie and lock him up as best as possible, we can still guard the corner guys like Nesmith, guys like Nembhard. They're not going to be doing what they've been doing. They've not run into a defense like this. So we'll see if their offense is really that much better. But my prediction is the defense just gets them in a rut. And when they're in that rut, their defense isn't going to stop our offense. Their defense isn't good enough. So that's where those big runs are going to come through. This is going to be a series of runs for us. I mean,
it's going to be super fun. I'm going to save all my nonsense for the preview video, but I definitely agree 100%. Also, I'd like to give a shout out to Landon and Jack for kind of making this thing happen to bring the Thunder podcast. They kind of like pulled all of us together somehow, and what a season it's been. What a great time it's been hopping on this show, having new friends, Thunder family forever, and how crazy is it that just first year just in the fucking NBA finals, bro? Unbelievable.
That's crazy.
Amazing time.
Shout out to all the fans who are still watching, bro. You guys are the best. That's why we love OKC, bro.
It's just crazy, man. I mean, Jack was like the Captain America, Avengers Assemble type shit, dude. I mean, just brought us all together, bro. It's crazy.
Yo, I have some decent news here. So with Jalen Williams getting that All-NBA bid, his contract goes from 5 years, $246 to 5 years, $296.
J-Dub's going to be making $296, bro.
Over 5 years, yes.
My God.
That's crazy. My God. Yeah, NBA money is a different beast.
Let me tell you something. I don't care. He deserves every single freaking penny of that thing. The way this kid has just said, fuck it, I'm him we knew he was good. But for him to just be this dominant defensively and offensively. First off, last year his offense was great regular season. He struggled in the postseason. He got a lot of hell for it. I didn't know J-Dub to be this all-time defender that he was all season long this year, and he added the offense. Xavier did. He did. But, the growth of this kid in just one season, and it's his third season, bro. Give him all the money. We'll have him for 5 more years and hopefully 4 more after that because, my God, he's such a player.
It'll look like a discount in 5 years from now, anyways, when he's
Yeah.
won all NBA multiple times.
Yeah.
Dude, it's that wingspan, bro. That abnormal wingspan is insane. I mean,
Have you guys read the draft story about him where like
yeah.
he was not projected 12th overall, but the wingspan came in. His live workouts were so crazy that Sam Presti was just wowed. Like, this guy's an NBA level prospect, and Sam's never wrong, man.
Bro, it's just crazy. Like, the growth of him, Chet's still getting better. And hopefully we can keep him as healthy as possible. But like, this is, I'm gonna say it, like, barring anything freakish, whatever, this is the worst Oklahoma City Thunder team you're gonna see for a really long time.
This is the potential start of an absolute dynasty. It really is. It's the potential's there. It's lined up for it. And the craziest part is we're saying this without talking about the treasure chest of draft picks.
The treasure chest.
I actively choose to ignore those because I feel like it's unfair to mention them.
It does.
Not even that. We're not even mentioning Cason Wallace is a second-year player. He's outstanding. Alex Caruso we have locked up. AJ Mitchell looks like a hidden gem on this team, and he barely played. And then we
Hartenstein passes like he's Magic Johnson.
And then we have Hartenstein, and then we have Topic, who we drafted, who was a projected top 3 pick, but then he tore his ACL. Fine, come on the team, sit one year.
I'm Topic's biggest fan. I'm Topic's biggest fan. When he comes in, oh my gosh, he's gonna destroy the league.
I'm not gonna switch up at all. I will remain that I did not like him at all, but I will never once say that I'm not happy that we took the chance on the pick. Like, he could turn out to be one of the best Thunder players in history or the worst, and I'll still remain the same that I just did not like what I saw from him that much. But regardless, I will always say to Presti, like, the vision was so beyond what we thought we needed at that moment to draft a dude with a torn ACL because he was that confident in this team's ability that we just didn't need another player. Like, he was so unbelievably right, as always. But yeah, this team is just insane. But you guys know what I was thinking about as well is they were showing those stats of the series, and J-Dub averaged 22 in the series. Think about how insane it is, how good he really is. He's averaging 22 on the same team as a guy who's averaging 31 and another guy who's averaging 19. If you put a guy like J-Dub on a different team as the number 1 option, he is an absolute superstar. And he's not even in his, like, that's insane how good he is and how good he looks alongside the MVP. Like,
well, you know what it is, Gabe? We've seen him have outbursts like this, like we were talking about the Spurs game on the last show. He's been like so different in the fact where he gets the ball, he's going to the cup or he's getting to his spot. Like, there's no questions anymore. There's no thought process anymore. It's, I'm getting here, and if you're in the way, I'm just going to bump you out of the way and still score.
Can I say something?
Yeah, really quick. One more thing for me. The only problem we had, this group of guys had from J-Dub all season long was kind of shying away from contact on his and ones. Mm-hmm. He's going through guys now, bro. It's a completely different player.
Forcing them to
completely different player.
Yeah, I was gonna add, along with the fact that he's seeking contact now, and he's realized. I think he's realized it through this playoff run, which makes it so much greater that his averages are going to go crazy next season because his averages should have been insane in the regular season with his length and strength. Like, dude, the fact that we have another downhill player on OKC that resembles and can mimic Shea, but he can get to his spots even better than Shea, in my opinion, because he has the better size, the better wingspan. Mm-hmm. That's insane to me. And he's way younger. Like, the league better watch out for Jalen Williams. He could be a future MVP as well. Like, I feel like we have 2 or 3 MVPs on this squad just sitting here. Like, I'm that comfortable saying that even about Chet Holmgren, but like J-Dub's showing that off right now as well, where he's like, any other team, he's the first option, probably averaging like 25, 8, and 8 or something crazy. And just absolutely dominating, but he's over here with us, only getting 22 on elite defense. So,
bro, I gotta get one of these hats.
I've been looking at those.
Bro, when they had the gray T-shirts,
dude,
I started tearing up, man, because it looked just like 2012,
similar,
bro. But the difference in this team, which is like, really nice to have, but it still kind of pulls on my emotions a bit because I'm like Russ was so fucking amped when we won. Shay's like, yeah, it was great. Love all you guys, but we still got 4 more games. Like it's so different, bro. It's so different.
I mean, look no shade to Russ, but they didn't end up winning. So like maybe this is what you need. Maybe you just need to lock in like this.
It is what you need, but it's just
then
like
you celebrate the finals. You celebrate the Western Conference Finals as well. You celebrate.
Can I ask you guys a question real quick? This has been going through my mind.
It's gonna make me cry. Don't do it. But yeah.
Well, I have no idea. I have no control over that. But so I've been thinking about this as we've been just talking more and more. I feel like the discourse around the previous 2012 Thunder squad, the facts have been kind of convoluted. That squad, I want to remind everyone watching, Harden was a 6th man. KD and Russ were clearly the best players on that team. But this team is so much more different, where it's Shay's the MVP, and then we have 2 up-and-coming guys that I feel like overtake the fact that we had Russell Westbrook as just the other secondary star, where we have 2 secondary stars. I feel like this trio of guys is better than that 2012 team as a collective. And I've heard like genuine discourse of probably 50% of fans saying that 2012 roster was better in terms of the trios. They're not even close, man. I would say it should be like maybe a 75, 80% split over to this side of the board, because what J-Dub and Chet are way better than what Russ and Harden were at that time.
Yeah, so
sorry,
you go first. You go.
Okay. There's 2 things that come to my mind immediately when you bring this up. Well, by the way, before I start my 2 points, the first thing I'll say is, this team is definitely better to me. The first big thing for me, you kind of talk about like the comparison of those 2 like big threes. It's the roles that each of them play. So Russ is this pure scorer. KD's this pure scorer. He is an absolute bucket getter. He's the guy we're supposed to be going to in the clutch, which we saw how that went, but whatever. MVP candidate. Russ is this aggressive 2-way slasher, and Harden's just that energy off the bench. They all had their roles, but the roles that our trio has now, it's like a puzzle. It goes so perfectly together. Shai is he is the actual definition of what we thought KD was. He is this pure scorer. He is this go-to when things get bad, but he's 2-way. He's a playmaker. He is doing everything KD did, but just better and more efficiently. J-Dub in that kind of Russ role brings the energy, brings the slashing, can shoot very efficiently, can get to his spots. And I'm not saying he's better than Russ.
And he's super efficient, and he's just he's like a longer, taller, better defender.
And his 2-way ability is insane. The guy's had multiple 5-steal games in the playoffs, which is outrageous for the second option. Then you have Chet you're talking about roles, comparing Chet's role to what Harden's role was. It's not even close. Chet is this 2-way unicorn, 7-footer hitting setback threes at the same time glassing people who are like McDaniels has an incredibly long wingspan. He cannot get a shot over Chet. Never does. So that's the first thing. The role those 3 guys play is so much more important than the role that those guys used to play. KD and Russ are fighting over which guy is our actual scorer. That's not the case. Shai hits the bench, J-Dub takes over. They're both in. J-Dub still does his job, but they work together. So that's the big thing. And then the second thing for me is the depth of this team is we don't have a single player that touches the court and doesn't provide useful minutes. Can you say that about any team ever? Has there ever been a team that doesn't have a player? Like everyone has one guy. You have one guy that you're just like, just don't like him. We don't have that. Every single player on this roster that touches the court provides minutes. We saw that tonight. Ousmane Dieng, who's been a project player for 4 years, comes in and hits a 3 from 4 feet behind the 3-point line. Like every single player on this team is a minutes worthy player, and there has never been a roster built that way. So the role of the 3 stars and the just the usefulness of each player, it blows the 2012 roster out of the water. It just does.
I wanted to keep it just to the trios because obviously I think we all agree.
That's why I started
the
with
rosters. But
I
love the breakdown about the puzzle and how they kind of. I feel like the KD, Russell Westbrook, and James Harden back in the day were very stagnant roles versus these guys can kind of do it all, like at all 3 levels of scoring. All levels of defense, and all 3 of them can do all of it.
Yes.
Well, the thing is, like, for me, with the trios, it's these guys are just more polished and somehow they're more mature and they all have higher IQs than the players we had at that time. Like Russ was great, but Russ was super young and super inconsistent offensively. Like super inconsistent. Harden disappeared in the finals because he wasn't ready yet. And I think that scarred him for the rest of his career because we saw what he does in the playoffs. And KD was super, he was great. I mean, he was the Shea, but Shea's more consistent than KD and more polished than he was at that time as well. Like KD got to his spots, but Shea gets to his spots better. So when you look at Shea and KD, give it to Shea. Like at that time, guys, I'm speaking at that time.
Right.
Look at J-Dub and Russ. J-Dub is consistent as hell right now, and he provides all NBA defense on the opposite side.
Yeah.
He has a little bit of rust in him, causing the fast breaks and the dunks, but it's more polished, it's more mature. And then you go to Harden and Chet, if you want to compare those two. I mean, Harden didn't do anything for us in the finals. Like, he didn't do anything. Chet's looking like he's still growing. Chet's looking like he's really becoming a consistent three-point
future DPOY candidate.
Future DPOY, future All-Star, future All-NBA D, future All-NBA, maybe. He's just becoming such a better player. His mid-range is getting there. Yep. He's still going to work on his post-game and get a little bit bigger. But the three-point shooting's been great. The shot blocking's been great. And his IQ's through the roof. He always makes the right play. And you guys, some of you guys, not you guys in general, but some people didn't like the aggression in Game 6. I thought he was fantastic. That's something with Chet I haven't seen either, is he's getting the ball and putting his head down going to the rim now too. Like him and J-Dub, something clicked. Something was said to them, or it just clicked at the right time, because they both became killers and starting in that Denver series, and now they're just here.
I think Shea makes it easy for them to have that mentality, because he tells all the guys when he's on the bench, every time I hear, because I listen to a different broadcast station where I can listen in to some of the plays or half times or whatever. Every time Shea goes to the bench, this man's telling Isaiah Joe, anyone, he's like, whatever your role is, keep doing it. Like, even if you're breaking, even with Lou Dort, Isaiah Joe, Chet, like all of them, he's like, keep going, man. Just keep pushing. Like, we don't care if there's a couple of misses here or there. Like, we're doing the process. Like, he's mentioned the process to everyone of what this team needs to do, and they've put it all together. And that trust that he's enabled in his guys, it's a true testament to his leadership. I feel like he's the perfect player, man. Like, people say, like, along with him being the best player, that's why I believe he is the best player, because he can be a leader. On top of it, he's as consistent. We're talking about him being a better or more consistent scorer than like a guy like Kevin Durant. And Kevin Durant is known as one of the greatest offensive players to ever play the game. I ask people, if Kevin Durant is that, then what is Shea?
Yeah.
Right? Like, what is Shea then?
The thing is, like, Shea had one game under 20 all season long, and it's continued into the playoffs. So it's like, it's just a different level. It's a different level than what it was. Like KD, there was games where he would go 5 of 23, 16 of 37. Like, that's not Shea. Shea's worst game was 13 of 30.
Yeah.
Like, and he finished with 40 points, by the way. So it's just different. We're super blessed. You know how blessed we are to be OKC fans through and through.
Dude.
That was the quickest rebuild I've ever seen in my life.
It's probably if you look at actually comparing it, it's probably the quickest turnaround ever to get to a final.
Let me tell you something. It was dark. Like Shea said, it was rough.
Dude,
we didn't watch every game of Xavier Simpson, of, no offense, Isaiah Roby. Like,
shout out to legend Poku.
The only reason I was watching OKC games was because I was curious to see how the young guys would progress. Like, I was like hoping we'd get smacked so I could see other guys get minutes.
Bro, there was a time where we were praying nightly that Darius Baisley was going to be the next best thing.
Dude, watching Terrence Ferguson jump over people, like, no, I'm playing, but no, those were definitely, like Shea said, dark days. Like, and I think you were talking about this earlier on, Joe, but like another blessing for Shea just to like stick with us through that and like see the vision that Presti had, and just to understand that it's going to come together. Like, And through all we went through, like, honestly, one of the big things that I'm really glad this team responded to was trading Giddey. Like, that was hard. He was very close to every single player on this team, and changing up something like that can mess up your chemistry. And it's nothing against Giddey. Like, I hope he has a great career. It was a great trade for both sides. It just needed to happen, and we didn't let that shake us up. Like, the chemistry stayed the exact same. Caruso amped it up, brought the leadership, and it's like, that's another thing, Xavier, that I think makes this trio better is that mindset. Like, these guys love each other. Like, these are brothers. Like, it's that AAU vibe. You didn't have that with KD, Russ, and Harden. Like, we literally watched what happened with that. I mean, KD ended up completely stabbing Russ in the back. Harden was there for the money, which, questionable whether or not we should throw the bag, but still, like,
he's been there for the money his whole NBA career. Every place he's gone to, he's begged for more. And the only time he sacrificed was when he wanted to join with his bro KD.
Yes, exactly.
And then he leaves when it doesn't work out.
Right. And then here we are talking about our trio now, and the fact that some of them might take less money than they're worth just to keep it the whole team. Like, it's such a different atmosphere, a different vibe. Like, willingly thinking about taking less money than what you're labeled as worth is insane, but like, they're literally talking about doing it. Shea has the chance to do it. Like, it's insane to me how different the vibe is with this team. And honestly, like, I'm not just saying this because we're on this podcast for this season, but this is like the most emotionally connected OKC team I've ever been a part of. Like, a part of. It's funny that I say that as if I'm helping them win games, but like, that emotional connection, like, when they are happy, I am genuinely happy. Like, you feel what they're feeling because they make sure of it. Like, they talk about the fans, they involve the fans. It's also impactful. It's like watching a college team. Like, you just care. And I felt the love for the older teams because I was an OKC fan, but not like this. It didn't feel like I was being acknowledged as a fan as much as I am right now. Like, I feel like I am literally emotionally, like, my day is determined on how OKC plays.
Yeah,
that's insane.
Yeah, it's nice for them to only have one game off because I'll feel like shit for 3 days straight if they were off for that long.
Mm-hmm.
Just like I'm gonna feel like a fucking $1 million for this next week. Man, we got a week. We got until June 5th.
June 5th, man.
Don't have to worry for
guys. You guys remember Theo Maledon? I thought that kid was
I like Theo. I like Theo a lot. Theo was a bucket.
Me too, man. I loved his like body size and his control and everything. I thought he was gonna be a beast.
I never had any feelings towards Theo Maledon.
Oh,
no, get him back in. Get him back in.
What's happening right now?
Back home, fellas. I'm back home.
Let's go. Hey, he's doing it at the perfect time.
Let's go, fellas. NBA Finals. I missed it.
Bro, we've been talking for an hour just reminiscing.
I see. How we feeling? How are we feeling?
Oh, first of all, we're fired up. We're just reminiscing on the old times, man.
Dude,
hey, Capers, I'm gonna ask you the same question I asked them just a while ago.
I already know his answer.
No, you don't.
Thinking about back in 2012, I was comparing the trio of how much better this trio is compared to Shea or Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, and Harden. I feel like there was some nostalgia, but like Harden was a 6-man. Yeah. Russell Westbrook and KD were fighting between who's the first guy versus this team. We know who the clear-cut guy is. Mm-hmm. And then Chet plus J-Dub are like 2A, 2B versus, Shea was only the other guy that we had. So I feel like there's a lot of revisionist history when it comes to how good this team is. And we didn't have a closer like Shea compared to we had Kevin Durant shooting tour dates.
Yeah. I mean, so what's the question though?
What do you think, man? Do you think it's revisionist history or like you think this squad's much better? I think they both froze out a little bit.
Yeah.
Let's
when they rejoin, we'll get back to that, but
yeah,
we'll continue.
Yeah, they'll just have to rejoin, no worries.
We'll continue here for a bit. I got a little bit left in me before I go celebrate.
There he is. He's back. He's joining in nice and slow.
But yeah, I mean, I think this, like I said, more polished, more mature.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm hoping we could close it out. I don't want to get into the Pacers, but I hope it is the Pacers. I think we match up better. I'm not necessarily scared of their offense. Their offense looks really good against the Knicks in the Eastern Conference, but we're not an Eastern Conference team, and we're the number one defense in basketball for a reason. We'll match you with the MVP scoring and J-Dub scoring and Chet scoring and everybody else's. So bring it on. Whoever it is, bring it on. I'm ready to roll, but it is going to be nice to have a nice week off. We'll tell you that.
Man, I'm excited. I'm glad we got some time off for all of us, man. To be honest, like as Thunder fans, as creators, we need this time off, man. It's been just like, oh my gosh, it's been nerve-wracking. I'm not gonna lie. Like Denver put up a crazy fight against us. I think we all knew we were gonna get past the Grizzlies, but this Timberwolves series,
Ja had us figured out.
Ja totally had us figured out.
Shout out Denver Nuggets, baby, on the YouTube there. Appreciate that. Appreciate it. Respect to you guys as well, man.
I'm gonna say you guys. I mean, if we're looking as good as we are, you're the team that took us to 7. So feel good about that for sure, dude. I mean, that's crazy.
I think I'm glad there's a Denver fan in here. I wanted to mention this. That Denver series is gonna look like a classic a couple years from now, where we saw 2 MVP candidates go at each other. They're probably going to be 1 and 2 for the next like 2-3 years, fighting for MVP most likely. I really don't see anyone else competing with them, and we'll see more classic battles probably like next year and the years after that. So I'm actually excited about that rivalry kind of building up. Like it's kind of fun.
This also felt like OKC. I don't want to say it. Well, I'm going to say it kind of felt like they needed to get this far, and hopefully they could finish it because the West is only going to get better. Denver's probably going to get better. They'll add somebody. They know they're missing, little bench pieces and whatnot. They might go back and get KCP, honestly. But Denver's going to get better.
A big sleeper in the West, dude. San Antonio.
I was just going to get there.
They are building something, bro.
San Antonio's building something. They still got off-season moves that they could figure out. And obviously, Wemby's becoming a problem.
Yes, he is.
Houston's going to get better. Fuck the Lakers. I don't give a no, I'm joking. The Lakers I don't care about. But a lot of teams are going to continue to get better. I mean, so just getting it done this year.
It feels
there's going to be a lot of player movement to this offseason with Giannis kind of being on the move. Maybe Philly puts up Paul George on the move. Kevin Durant's definitely on the move. We could see some big name guys. I mean, even Philly could try to decide to move on Embiid or something crazy and fully rebuild. There's a lot of moves it looks like to be had, and it's going to be a fun summer, to be honest. For us, we're just going to sit back and chill and watch it, but it'll be fun to just watch.
Listen, if they get it done this year, it'll be fun to watch. I got no stress. But the Denver Nuggets account, appreciate the comments and coming to tune in, but I do want to I'll answer that question after. I do want to take Russ back from you, just on a vet minimum.
Please.
Can I get him on a vet? Can I get him on a vet minimum just to sit on our bench?
Can we just have him right now, just for this last series?
But he said, "Do you guys think OKC could be a dynasty?" Absolutely. They're only getting better. They're so young. Chet's like 23, 22. J-Dub's 24, just turned 24, I believe. Shea's 26.
Yeah, that's not old.
Caruso's only 30, so he's got like 3 to 4 really good years left of him. Hartenstein's young. Who am I missing? Isaiah Joe and Wiggins are young. Case Wallace is a second-year player. Yep. They're the youngest team in the NBA, so it has all the makings.
George Young.
Majority of our roster is under 26, 12 players, I believe. So
it has all the makings for a dynasty. It's really hard to be a dynasty. A team hasn't won back-to-back in a really long time, but I'm starting to think that we haven't won yet. We haven't won yet, but it could be. Capers, welcome back, brother. What's up?
I'm not so sure what happened.
You're good now.
He comes back hitting the
we're glad to have you back.
Yeah, I'm glad to be here, fellas. Let's get it, man.
Just tell me how you're feeling, bro.
I'm just ecstatic, bro. Like I'm just so happy right now, but the job's not finished, man. So
I might have to drive over to Philly real quick.
Pull up, bro. Listen, we can't get too too high right now, you know?
Yeah, I know.
That's
You got to
true,
take the
that's
wins
true.
while you can, you know?
That's true, though.
Well, the nice thing, like the weight off our chest that we've made the finals is insane. Like, don't get me wrong, God forbid we lose, but like the fact that we made the finals, we are in history. We are the Western Conference champions. Like, we've exceeded expectations making the finals. So I'm not saying that's enough. Like, we got to win, but
You know my
there's something there that's
that.
worth celebrating.
You know my stance on that. I mean, I would definitely celebrate tonight for everyone listening. Celebrate tonight, but don't go too crazy because there's going to be a bigger celebration week from now. Well, probably 2 weeks from now. But,
Couple weeks.
yeah.
Yeah.
But you
I'm
heading down
gonna
to
be there
OKC?
for you.
Yeah, I am.
Whole week?
I might. No. I might go for game one, but
Game one?
definitely I'll be there when we win the title. I'm gonna be there. Trust me.
Yeah, I hope. Well, hopefully they could win it in OKC.
That's what I'm saying. I think
But-
that even if they don't, though, like let's say we get to game 4 and we sweep them, I'm still gonna be in OKC.
Yeah. I'm gonna be down there too.
Yeah.
What did
I'm
Denver
gonna make my
Nuggets-
way down there as well.
We got Denver Nuggets saying, don't you guys have a lot of draft picks too? You guys can go out and get a superstar. OKC will only get better. Yeah. Thanks for the classy part. The real OKC fans are class acts. They don't go crazy like Twitter accounts. The Twitter accounts, you know what Twitter is. But again, appreciate the question. We got a shit ton of draft picks still.
Yeah.
We'll see how he uses them because we got people to sign, people to extend.
Yeah.
We got a lot of shit to handle, but
that's like almost the most interesting / exciting thing for me is to see how Presti ends up using these picks. Like, I'm so curious what we're going to do with them because we can't just straight up draft. We don't have enough space. So they got to be used for something else. So
we're moving up.
true.
We're moving up in the draft.
that's what I'm thinking.
think
We're going
so?
to take the draft.
We're
I don't know
moving
if
up in the draft.
We're at what, 15?
We're at
Yeah.
15 and like 24 and like a second rounder. We'll move up. We'll
Where,
move up
though?
like
Where
a
you
couple
think?
spots. Just a couple spots.
Yeah,
this is a really good draft class.
Sam Presti's really
it
good.
is, and it got a lot of defenders in it too.
He's really good at drafting at the 12 spot, so I think we'll go get that one.
Just
Okay.
again, just keep going for the 12.
I like that one. That was a good. Yeah, I like that one.
No, that'd
We
be
got
sick.
a lot of luck at 12. So
Well, my fear, not my fear. I don't want to see Presti overpay for something just because he can. Like, I don't want to see him overpaying for a jump because we have too many picks.
well,
Which
we
I mean,
did that last draft.
I know you can, but like that can look pretty bad if that goes poorly. So like, I'm not saying you can rob somebody, but you can make fair trades. Like, we know he can make a good trade. So I just want to see him make
Minnesota, unless they clear Nas and a few others, they can't go get Durant, right?
No, they can't.
Even if they could get
They
him,
really think they can.
No, I'm not worried. I'm not worried about Minnesota at all. I'm just
No, they
they're
can't
a
get
loser.
him. They can't get him in general. They just can't match.
their Twitter
money.
accounts are begging for it.
Yeah, I
I'm like,
know.
I don't think you guys.
yeah, I see that.
Yeah, no, Capers, we're not afraid. We did a whole like 20-minute segment talking about how fucked the Wolves.
Yeah,
No,
I
yeah, I'm
believe
just
we're
looking at their Twitter
revisiting
accounts.
the Cam Thomas trade, right? That's his name from Brooklyn.
Yeah,
Thomas or Johnson?
They're both
Johnson, Cameron
Yeah.
Johnson.
these. Yeah,
Would you guys like that in the offseason or nah?
I'm
we don't
cool
need
with,
anything
I'm
right
cool
now.
with Cam Thomas.
No,
yeah.
he
We'll
wouldn't.
go back
No,
to
he
Bill
wouldn't
and
fit on
talk
the
about
team.
his Cam Thomas campaign.
Yeah, I tried my hardest, bro, during trade deadline, but
You got Jack on it. You had Jack hooked.
I'm still on that. But man, I don't even know what to talk about anymore, guys. I mean, career points in the conference finals. This is a funny stat: 37 for Terrence Shannon Jr., 0 for Joel Embiid. That's pretty funny.
Oh my goodness.
Crazy bull.
Oh, that's a crazy strike, bro.
That is crazy. That's
Wow.
I mean, I know there ain't no Sixer fans in here, so it's all right.
Wow.
just crazy,
Oh.
bro.
We're in the finals, bro. We're in the finals.
And that we're in the final.
4 more dubs, fellas.
Yeah, we're not. We're saving our all the talk for Indiana or New York for our preview video. But who do you have winning? You got Indiana finishing the series up, Capers?
I have Indiana winning. I hope they lose, though.
You want the Knicks?
I hope they choke, yeah, because I want to go to New York.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the only reason I want them to win. Plus, the Knicks were my finals pick anyway in the beginning of the year. So, but it's over, bro.
Yeah.
Even if they win today, I guess today, tomorrow,
Yeah.
they're not winning Game 6.
I think the best thing OKC could hope for is just for this series to get extended as long as possible.
Yep.
Not necessarily. We saw what happened against
Team's
Denver when
coming
that
hot.
happened.
Team's coming hot. They
I
coming
was
hot.
telling them, I was talking to my friends. They were like, OKC. They basically said what you said. I'm like, bro, Denver and what OKC just did to the Wolves proves that does not matter, bro.
That is true. That is true.
That doesn't matter for West teams.
For
East
West
teams,
teams.
East teams are different
That's true.
in a bad way. Not to throw shade at Indiana because I think they can be really good.
You fully just did. You
No,
fully just did.
Well, we did beat the shit out of the East this year. So
We lost one game to the East.
I know.
Oh, I was so mad we lost that game. We had
but
it.
That Cleveland game.
we got to
Oh,
ignore
my
that. We got to
goodness.
ignore that stat though. Playoff basketball is such a different beast. Like we just got to ignore that stat because while we beat the East up so bad, like you never know, dude. You just
I'm
got
gonna
to
tell you something real quick.
wait till it's over, bro. Because I don't want us to get stunned by the Pacers.
No matter what happens, Gabe, and this is not going towards the preview, but it kind of is.
Mhm.
Neither of those teams are winning in Oklahoma City. Not one game. They're not.
If
Mm.
that's where
They're
the
not.
series could go wrong is if we do drop one at home.
They're not going
I agree
to.
with that. If we do, they're not. But if we do, that could go wrong. Yeah.
That's the only way. That's the only way they win. The way the OKC's been playing at home.
Yeah.
3 games this series were absolute murder scenes, and the
Yeah.
last game in Game 7 was a murder scene. Like it's 4 straight games at home
Well, and
that weren't even close.
And you think that Loud City has been loud? Wait till they get to a finals.
Yeah,
I
man.
mean,
They're ready.
it's gonna be loud, and
You can barely hear the whistle tonight, to be honest.
Yeah, I
in the
know.
third
We
quarter.
clearly thrive off of the stadium and the crowd. So I like that statement, Joe. I'm doing whatever I can to keep myself from setting an expectation that we can't make. Like I just
Man, set an expectation.
if I go off on an expectation, I'm gonna it will no. I'm not going. I'm not going there. I'm not going there.
I want to mention real quick for the offseason for the Thunder. We have like up to $10 to $14 million, like 10 to 14 million that we can sign a player. So like that's kind of the range of the player that we'll sign. So it won't be anything of significance. Like that player is not changing the roster whatsoever.
Daniel Tice?
Yeah.
Here we go again.
Like the best player we could sign around that range is an
Chris Paul.
example. Maybe like a Chris Paul or a D'Anthony Melton.
Oh, bring him back then. Why
Those
not?
are the two guys that like.
I'm telling you, we're gonna bring back Russ, bro.
I'm down. I wouldn't mind
Do
that.
it. Do it.
And it's
Come
not
on.
even for a role on the floor. It's literally
It's
just
just-
to come
it's just
for a
a-
year, retire.
Yeah.
That's what
Just
it
do
is.
Please.
But yeah, I mean, we could chill on here, but these guys are probably getting bored of us just talking about OKC random shit. I mean, we could.
Capers, tell us more about how you feel, man. We haven't heard enough
man.
from you, man.
Bro, like you don't understand. Well, I guess you do understand because you guys are lifelong Thunder fans too. So I can't even say you
Yeah.
don't understand. Again, it's not over yet, but just all the heartbreak, heartache, just stress. This thing about a couple of weeks ago, literally, we were pulling our hairs out because we went to Game 7 and the season was on the line.
And we
Right?
we got
Okay, that's
the-
fine.
Yeah.
But I'm just so excited, bro. If you would have told me the last time we went to the finals, I was 12. If you would have told me when I was 12 that you won't see your team get to another chip until you're 25, I'll be like, bro, ain't no way. But here we are now.
I was 13 and I'm 26 now, bro. Trust.
It's bad, bro. But hey, we're
So
here
bad.
now. So
We are here now.
Man.
Just crazy.
Man, it's gonna be different. It's gonna be different seeing them with the finals patch and shit. This is gonna be crazy, bro.
oh my God,
Come
man.
on, bro.
4 more wins.
Just take care
Four
of business. Just take care of business, man.
Please.
Man.
I know. Fucking go
You-
Pacers. Go Pacers.
Yo, Gabe, the same feeling you had for this game of just like finish this series off is the same feeling that I have about like the next series. Just please finish it. Like,
Just take care of it.
give
bro.
us the ring and like
We're like the
Yeah,
fact that we're so close, dude. It's like just take care of business, guys. We know we can, dude.
Our NBA finals was against Denver. Chill.
That's what everybody says.
Because it's a fact, bro. It's a fact. It's a
That's what
fact.
everybody says. I hope. Oh, go New York, go though.
yeah, I want New York to extend this
Please,
series.
when this this series, bro. They're not, but please.
Selfishly, like I want these guys to get more rest because we came off a grueling 7 games and then went straight into this one. I do want these guys to be like having enough time to rest up.
They don't need no rest, bro.
No, they
They don't need no rest.
I don't want to say
They
it
need to
right
keep
now,
playing.
but they need rest. I'm not gonna say what I'm thinking, but
Okay.
they need rest.
He looked
All
good
right.
this series, though. He looked good this series.
They need rest. I don't care.
All
They
right,
need
boys.
rest.
I'm out of words here.
Yeah,
Me
man.
too, man.
All right, let me wrap this up. Gabe,
Yeah.
send us home. Send us home, Gabe.
Yeah, I mean, first off, thank you everybody who's just been sticking in here with us. You guys know, like we've said it so many times, this is a podcast for fans by fans. Like you guys are in this just as much as we are. Let's sit in it for a bit and be happy. But we got a week from now, we got to lock back in. It doesn't matter until we get those next 4 W's. So, guys, thank you for tuning in. Thank you guys for listening. We seriously hope you guys were able to catch the full game. Really fun one again. Our Oklahoma City Thunder are headed to the NBA Finals. Let's just sit in it. Let's have some fun. But yeah, thank you guys for listening. And Joe, you got something to say?
Looked like Sappy had something to say real quick.
I have a quick thing to say. Lost and Bound just dropped a to the finals
Yeah.
YouTube video, so just had to put that out
The
there. real
king
quick.
lives.
If
The
you want to
king
join the
lives.
podcast, please go ahead and join
Oh
us.
my gosh, that would be legendary.
Yeah,
LNU, man. I
Yeah,
forgot
one-
about him.
One
We gotta
last thing from me would just be to thank everybody. Thank you for all the comments. Again, thank you for everyone who entered the giveaway. There's going to be another one soon. I promise. I'm not lying. Fuck PJ Washington. Fuck Julius Randle. Fuck Chris Finch. And Thunder up, baby. Let's go. Finals. Yeah.